Welcome to Bible Reader Companion. Our Bible reading this week is Luke chapters 2 through 13, and our memory verse is Luke chapter 6 and verse 31, which reads, "And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise." And we've been talking about how this applies to us this week. We started off with a very basic principle on Monday in talking about how we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes and we think like we're talking to ourselves or we're treating ourselves a certain way. And then we've begun in the last days or two to start looking at how this actually applies practically in our lives. And we looked yesterday at the idea of applying this to our speech and how we talk about and to others when we put ourselves in their shoes and we treat them the way we want to be treated. Do we say bad things about them? Do we curse them? Do we talk behind their back? Or do we pray for them and do we bless them with our lips? Let's look today in the same context of Luke chapter 6 at some other verses that talk about doing this with our actions. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about doing this in our judgments. So let's look at this. In Luke chapter 6 and verse 27, he says, "But I say to you who hear, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you." Come down to verse 29. "To him who strikes you on the one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away from your goods, do not ask them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful." There's some challenging things here in Jesus talking about turning the other cheek. And some people take that and they make it literal. And so if somebody slaps them or does something to them, they're trying to say, okay, well, hit me on the other cheek. And then they go about revenge. And that's not Jesus' point. Jesus' point is, okay, well, you can take a blow on both cheeks and then you can go after them. No. Jesus is talking about you treat people with kindness even when they don't treat you well. And that's how we would want to be treated. We want to be treated with kindness. We want people to treat us with consideration and with love. And he says, if you do this, and here's where this really gets tough. So I can do that to people that I like and people that I love, and I can treat them the way I want to be treated. But Jesus takes it to another level. And he says, you don't just treat people the way you want to be treated, that treat you well and that love you and respect you. You do it to people that hate you. You treat those people the way you wanted to be treated, even if they don't do the same. Even if they hate you and despise you and take things from you, you still treat them the way you would want to be treated. When you stop and think about that, that's pretty tough. That's hard to do. It's easy to talk about, much harder to implement. But if we are going to be disciples of Christ, if we are going to be followers of Jesus, citizens in the kingdom of heaven, then we must follow his instruction. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. Thank you for thinking on these things, and we hope you'll join us again tomorrow.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook for more content like this.